day. He created the sun, the light, and so on and so forth. And then he created Adam on Eleta Arba, on Friday. After he prepared everything for him, after he prepared all the things that he needed, he created Adam. This is how he shows us his love. Even today, even with us, he prepares everything we need before he gives us an assignment. Before we go anywhere, all the things we need is prepared for us. Because God loves us. God shows us his love by doing these things. But we don't understand this love that God has for us. See, especially today in today's media, today's society, the phrase "I love God" almost becomes a culture. Since we see it on TV, since we hear it on the news, since friends say it, since hip-hop artists are rapping about it every day, "I love God" has just been a term. And really, how many people understood it? It's kind of hard to say. People posted all over Facebook, people posted all over Twitter and all these. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but how many of us are really genuinely saying we understand God's love? Or are we saying it just to say it? Or is it a phrase? That meaning, that phrase should have a meaning behind it. We should understand the love that God has for us. See, he showed Adam his love. He created him in his image. He gave him everything he could have ever imagined. Gave him everything, food, everything. All Adam had to do was sit down and thank him. But along with the love, he also gave him orders. He said, "Don't eat that fruit." See, the orders were necessary. God knows better than us. He knows what's good and what's bad for us. He said, if you eat that fruit, you will die. You will die. Don't eat the fruit. That was an order. See, the reason why he gave us an order was to differentiate between his kids and him. God is God. There's no one like God. There is no greater love than God. But he's our master. We should submit to him. And many people have a hard time doing that. They question God. They ask why. Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do that? Instead of understanding that God told us, so we should listen. We should follow the orders. Orders are needed to show who's in charge. God is in charge. God is our leader, and we must submit to him. See, that's why rule is important. And many people have a hard time submitting to God, but we usually submit to other things. We submit to money. We submit to school. Our teachers tell us what to do, and we listen to them. Our bosses tell us what to do, and we listen to them. But when God tells us to go to church, we have a hard time. When God tells us to do the right thing, we have a hard time. We submit to other parties, but we have a hard time submitting to God. See, Adam could not show his love to God. He didn't listen to God, but he listened to the devil. As you guys know the story, the devil came in the image of a snake and tricked Haman into eating that fruit. The rule said, don't eat this fruit. See, if you submit to God, you should listen to that. You should follow it. But he chose to submit to the devil. Here was God here on one side, and the devil was on the other side. He chose the devil. Now, when we read this story in Genesis, we might not understand why Adam did this, and we might even say it's foolish. Who would do such a thing? When you're given an option between God and the devil, who would take the devil? But we do it every day. We do it every day. We choose to sin versus do good. We choose to stay at home versus go to church. We choose friends that tell us to party versus choosing friends that tell us to go to church. After all these years, we haven't learned anything from Adam and Hawa. But this is the story that all of us know. See, devil told him if he ate the fruit, he would be like God. He said, eat the fruit. And the minute you eat this forbidden fruit, you'll be more like God. Something we all want. We want to make the rules. We want to run the show. We want to be in charge. This is my body. I'll do whatever I want with it. Nobody could tell me what to do. Making rules for our body as if this is our body. This is God's body. We don't belong to ourselves. We belong to God. We belong to God. But that's what Adam wanted to do. He wanted to make his own rules. He wanted to be more like God. So he disobeyed him. He considered God to be a liar and the devil as the truth. See, in today's world, that's what we're seeing. A lot of people think the devil is the truth. They think God is not the right way to go. They think the Bible is too old. The Bible has many mistakes. The Bible is outdated. Many people compare science and religion and get confused. If science comes out with some type of technology or some type of research that disproves religion, then people get confused. The truth is the Bible. The truth is God, and that is the only way. Science has to prove itself to religion. Religion does not have to prove itself to the Bible. Or religion doesn't have to prove itself to science. Religion is what is correct, and science has to prove itself worthy. We shouldn't have to prove that our way is the correct way, because it is. Because the Bible is the right way. But many people tend to forget that. If science and religion don't go hand in hand, many choose science over religion. Just like Adam chose the devil over God. Adam was kicked out of heaven, Jannat, the Garden of Eden, as all of you know, after he ate the forbidden fruit. He was kicked out of the Garden of Eden. He lost his respect. He lost his dignity. He lost his place. He lost his house, his home, where he lived at for 7 years. Lijinnatunata. He lost his purity, his innocence. So he didn't have any peace. He didn't have a peace of mind. So the devil told him that if they decided to sign an agreement, he would ease his pain. He would give him more peace. That's what the devil likes to do. Kick you while you're down. You sin once, but the devil doesn't want you to stop there. He finds a way so you sin again and again and again until the point that you can't come out of it. This is the devil's job. That's what we do all the time. When people get depressed, or when something bad happens, or when you fail a test, or when you get kicked out of the house, or when you get kicked out of work, when you lose your work, when you're struggling with money, people tend to turn to drugs, alcohol, to ease the pain. Signing another agreement with the devil. When search for peace, they lose the very small peace that they had to begin with. Romans chapter 8 verse 6 says, "The mind of a sinful man is death, but the mind controlled by the Spirit is life and peace." So if you want true peace, seek God, not the devil. God will show you the way. Adam and Eve broke the pact they had with God. They decided they didn't want to follow God anymore. They said that wasn't the right way. They wanted a new way to go, a new path. They wanted to create a new path. So they signed an agreement form with the devil. Adam Gibru le diabolos. Hewan amatu le diabolos.